Hello everybody, so we are doing some more story problems. So I have some manipulatives, you can get whatever you want. I have some pens and markers to draw my pictures. So I've got everything I need to work out my equation. So you might want a pencil, that way you could erase. I just don't have any pencils with me. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start number 1, which is a part whole. These are all part whole equations. So number 1, Lucy has 8 green pens and 6 red pens. How many pens does she have? So she has 8 green, so I'm gonna count out 8. 4, 6, and 8. This represents her 8 green pens, and then she has 6 red. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So she has, I'm gonna put 8 green, 6 red. And then the question says, how many pens does she have? So if she has 8 green, 6 red, what are we gonna do here? This should be a fairly easy one. We have both parts. We have the green part, the red part. We're trying to figure out the whole. How many pens all together? So if we did a part whole box, we have the parts, we have 8, we have 6. We got to figure out what is that whole. So how would we do that? Would we subtract or are we going to add? So if we're trying to find a whole, we are going to add. So what we need to do is figure out how many is 8 and 6 together. If we add these two numbers together, what are we going to get? So I know I have an 8 here, and then I'm going to count on is one strategy to use. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I know that 8 plus 6 equals 14. We can check another way. We can draw our picture. So sometimes I like to use colors to represent. So if we have 8 green, 6 red, I'm going to use green and red to represent that. So I'm going to draw the 8 green. 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to use 10 frames. That way it's easier for me to recognize. So that's 8. Then I'm going to count on with 6. So 8, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can see here that I have made tens frames. So if I was going to draw a tens frame, it would look like this, right? 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I know 8 green plus 6 red equals 14. So what is it asking again? It is asking how many pens does she have all together? So how many green and red? And we figured out green plus red equals how many? 14. So you would say she has 14 pens. And this is the answer, because that's what's answering the question. How many pens does she have? She has 14 pens. So we have a picture, we have a number sentence, we have our answer. We have all 3 things that we need to answer this problem and to show somebody that we know what we're doing. Okay? All right, let's look at number 2. Alrighty. Number 2 says, Mason has 12 video games, but his mom made him give away 7. How many video games does he have left? Okay, so we're thinking He has 12. So let's get 12 video games. 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, and 12. And I'm going to set them up like a 10 string, and that helps me check that I have counted the right amount. So 5, remember 10 frames are 2 rows of 5. And then if I have 12, I should have how many left over? 2 left over. Okay. So good. 5, 10, 11, 12. So here are the 12 video games. 12 video games that he starts with. But it says next, his mom made him give away 7. So we're thinking, when you give away, are you adding to your amount or are you taking away? When you give away, you are taking from what you have and giving it to someone else. So he's giving away 7. So he had 12 and he's giving away 7. So what is that going to be? Is he adding 7 to his collection or subtracting 7 from his collection? He is subtracting 7. And then we're figuring out how many video games does he have left. So after he gives those 7 away, how many does he end up with? How many does he have left to play at home with? So let's figure it out. We can use our manipulatives first. So he has 12, he gives away 7. So let's take away those 7 he's giving away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I took away the 7. So how many does he have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 12 minus 7 is 5. But we need to draw pictures and we need to check and make sure that we are correct. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw it now. It's another way to solve. So I'm going to draw his 12 video games just like we use blocks for. I'm just going to use circles because it is easier to draw circles than try to draw video games. Okay, so there's my 12 video games. Now, remember, I'm taking away 7. So all I'm going to do is cross out 7. So I'm going to cross out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So now what I have left should be 5 from what we figured out over here. So let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I like to leave a mark on there. That way I know if I touched it, I counted it. So I had 5. So what is it right? It sure is. I did it by pictures. I did it with manipulatives. And now I can even count back as another strategy. I have 12. Put 12 in your head. Remember, I'm touching my forehead. 12. Count back 7. So 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. I counted back 7 and I got to 5. So 12 minus 7 is 5. So I got to make sure I write that on my paper so my teacher or my parent will see that I am doing this correctly. So 12 minus 7 is 5. I've shown that in a picture. Now I have to write the answer to my question. How many video games does he have left? You can say Mason has 5 video games left. So that is the answer to my question. How many video games does he have left? Mason has 5 video games left. Perfect. All right, now let's do one more. So we've been finding whole parts. So let's see what this next one is. All right. And I know this next one is a little trickier because it's more subjective. You can do anything you want. So let's read it. I have some bananas and oranges. There are 12 in all. How many of each fruit might there be? I have some bananas and oranges. Did they tell us how many bananas or oranges? No, they only said some. Is some a number? No. But we have 12 in all. So I know I have 12 fruit. I know I have 12 fruit. So I'm going to get my manipulatives. I drew it 2, 4, 5, 6, 10, and then 2 more will make 12. All right, so there's my 12 fruit. I have 12 in all. Some are bananas, some are oranges. The question is, how many of each fruit might, keyword, might there be? Is this asking for a definite answer? No, it's asking you to think of how many could there be. So you can figure out your own way to solve this problem and reply. I'm going to do it 1 or 2 ways, and then I want you to respond and tell me how many bananas and how many oranges did you say that there could be? So I know there's 12 in all. So I know my whole number. I know my whole, but my parts are a mystery. I do not know my parts. And that is what we got to figure out. We're just going to figure out what could the parts be. And there are many, many different answers. So one way we could do is, I have all 12 fruit here. I'm just going to make, how many parts are there? 2. I'm just going to separate these into 2 piles. I'll call these bananas and these oranges. So I'm going to say there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 oranges, 5 oranges, and then the rest are up here. So how many bananas? So these are going to be bananas. All right, so let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so if there's 7 bananas and 5 oranges, does that make 12 fruit? Let's add 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is 7 plus 5 equal 12? It sure does. So that could be one of my answers. I could say, I'm going to draw 12. So you can draw 12 circles, just like I just did. And I'm going to color some for bananas, and I'm going to color some for oranges. So I'm going to get some yellow and orange, because I like to match the problem. So I'm going to color some in for bananas. 7. I'm matching my problem over here. And then the rest are going to be oranges. So this is showing 7 plus 5 equals 12. And I just like to make it like that, since it's a mixture of both. So that could be one way. Or I can do it again. I can figure out another way. I'm drawing 12 again. Now I'm going to color it again. Let's see. But some have to be both. So I can't color them all orange. So some are bananas and oranges. So we got to have some of both. And some can be any number. So let's see what I made here. How many oranges? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 oranges plus how many bananas? 1, 2, 3. 9 plus 3 equals 12. Okay? I can solve that again. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here's 9. 3 more. 10, 11, 12. So now I have to answer my problem. I've kind of taken up my room. How many of each fruit could there be? 9 bananas and 3 oranges. So that would be my answer for this side. Or I would say 7 bananas and 5 oranges. Remember, without this part, I haven't answered the question. Yes, I have a great picture that I can tell from the picture. I have a number sentence and I can tell from the number sentence. But remember, you want to tell them the answer. How many of each fruit might there be? 9 bananas and 3 oranges. There might be 9 bananas and 3 oranges. There might be 7 bananas and 5 oranges. You can figure out a whole different answer. There are a couple different answers that you can solve this problem with. I would love for you to reply to this and tell me how many bananas and how many oranges do you think there are? So that is your job to do after this. How many oranges and bananas do you think there are? So as long as your, sorry, that was messy. As long as your parts equal 12, you can't be wrong. So you gotta think of what are all the ways to make 12. We know 7 plus 5 equals 12. We know 9 plus 3 equals 12. What are other ways to make 12? We've done this a lot in class. So that's what you're gonna do. It's your response. It's optional, but I would love to hear back from you and see you're practicing on this where you get to decide. But the only rule is it has to equal 12. Okay? I want to see a picture, a number sentence, and then you writing the answer. How many bananas? How many oranges did you say there might be? Okay? Alrighty. I will see you next time. Oh. Stop. Come on. Sorry.